Hey everyone. So part of the reason what I do in between sessions, because I'm doing all these recordings, so I have to wait for Zoom to process the recording so I can save it on my computer. So sometimes it takes a little time for me to get back into the next Zoom meeting. What we're gonna do in this session, we're gonna do in this session is not a lot of talking from me. And we're gonna do some brand audits. Let's see, how do we get out of that view? Okay. We're gonna do like a visual audit, a brand audit, and then I wanna come back to something that we were doing yesterday when we were doing the client avatar, because I think that that work is so important and we didn't really have, I feel like we just kind of like danced over it very lightly. And so in the time that we have today, I actually want to revisit that because we have sections to build out 3 different avatars. And I want to make sure that we leave with at least having one avatar well built and shared with other people too. So you can kind of get some feedback on it. So that's my plan for this session. It's almost 10 after 11 Eastern time. And so we'll probably go a little bit later and we'll probably do as much as we can until noon. And then noon, I have some quick chats with people. So why don't you grab your workbooks and I'm just going to talk you through, share my screen, talk you through the first exercise that we're going to do. Here we go. Minimize that. So we'll do these first 2 exercises we can do just right now at the same time. I'm going to give us, let's see, probably need about 10 minutes, I think, to do both of these exercises. So the first one is you can use this box and we're doing on a scale of 1 to 10, how would I rate my current brand overall? So you're going to move this box just over where it needs to be. Same thing with logo, color palette, website, social media presence, just the general vibe that you have with all of them. This is really just to get a pulse of how you feel about things that you have. If you don't have a logo at all, then it goes all the way down to 1. That's something that you need to work on. So move these around, add up the total, and just kind of see. This makes me feel like 17 magazine back in the day, doing a quiz and have the numbers and like all A's, you're out, blah, blah, blah. So just see, and this is all just general for fun, but it gives you a good idea of where things are. And then this one you'll need a little bit more time with, and I just want to explain what I mean by what you need in each category. Maybe you don't know everything that you need in a category, but I would just put in here, I have a logo, I need a better color palette. Oops, it's hard to type when you're on screen. What I want for you guys for this is just to go through all of these different brand scan categories and just write some notes for yourself. So like website, and think about not just immediately, but think about all of 2021. So you can put, website, I'm looking to build a new website mid-year 2021. Brand guidelines, what does that mean? That means, do you have a document put together, whether it's just a little PDF or a folder, where you know the exact hex codes, the exact, and those are it's like a little hashtag and a bunch of numbers. Do you know the exact color that you use for your brand, that you use the same one over and over again? You can use it, not just saying I use red for my brand, but I use a specific kind of red. Do you have the codes for your brand colors? Do you have a folder that has your logo in a couple different formats? Do you have do you know the specific fonts that you use for your brand? So that's what I mean by brand guidelines. If you don't have those, write that in there. I need a document that has all of the guidelines for my brand. Client avatar, we're working on that today. So write some notes there. Social media, What do you need to work on with social media? Just a couple things for each one. Brand voice. Do you feel like you have clarity there, or some other some things you can add? Brand personality, from the work that we did yesterday, does this need some work? And then unique value proposition is really, do you have a clear sense of how you're unique? And right, like I said, this is just for us to kind of mark in what we need work with. And a lot of these are deeper work, more exercises that you need to do, but it just gives you a pulse. This exercise plus the one above will give you a pulse on where things are. So I'm gonna give us 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll start working more on client avatar stuff. Okay, everybody. We're going to come back and let's see, I want to get gallery so I can see everybody. So what I want to do now is we're not really going to go through those because that's really just for your reference to kind of see where you're at. Um, does anybody have a specific question about those exercises that I could answer before we move on to the next thing? Okay, sweet. So what we're gonna do is I want to go back to, is there anybody, just raise your hand if you're on camera, or just do the raise your hand little emoji thing. If you don't have a client avatar, if you weren't here yesterday and you didn't do the work for the client avatar. Okay, I see a couple hands going up. Um, all right, so what I want to do is take a couple minutes now to work on that. And for anybody who has one, I want to see a show of hands if anybody did all three yesterday. Is there anybody who has 3 client avatars built out? Great. So we could all use a little work of building out avatars. So even if you've done one, then move on to number 2, or really take some time to go back to number 1. If you're not sure where that's at, it's in the workbook. Let me share my screen real quick. We're going back to this thing here from session 2. It's the customer profile. So if you weren't here yesterday, you can go in and we're creating a fictional customer here. This is a fictional client avatar. I wanted to feel like a real person. So you can either, there was 2 ways to go about this. You can take your very best client that you've had in the past. That's hard if you're just getting started because you might not have a very best client that you love working with. So if not, we're going to fictionalize a person who would be a best case scenario client for you. Give them a real name, give them a customer type. And by that, I mean, you can get creative here. Yesterday, we called them the super fan. You could call them the busy working mom. You could call them the high powered executive. You could call them the microgreens farmer. You know, this is your industry. This is one type, and this is really just for your reference, so you know what type this person is. Then we're going to go through and answer these questions in as much detail as possible. So really give this some time, heart, energy putting into it. And if you want to have fun, you can go over here, grab, yesterday I used this lady. I think I called her Emma. And you can actually just drag and drop a picture in there. So I think it's like, it's humanizing when we can see a picture of a person. It's 11:30. What we're going to do is we're going to work on this for 10 minutes independently, and then we're going to go into breakout groups. And I want you to present your customer profile to the group and get some feedback. And when we present with one another, if you're in the small group, I want you to be asking questions and interacting and trying to help your teammate here to build this customer avatar. So really thinking about maybe some pain points that this person might have, and then kind of pushing back on asking some questions. So that way we can help each other build out these avatars. And this will be the thing we work on for the rest of the session. So we'll do 10 minutes to work on one of these customer profiles. And if you've already done one, then I would move on to your second customer profile. And what do I mean by the second one? That means if you have multiple, most of us have multiple types of clients that we service. We have whether it's they work in different industries. Like for me, I have my health and wellness, functional medicine people, but I also have my business coaches. I could do lots of these different customer avatars based on the type of people that I work with. There was Dr. Dorothy the other day in fertility. She probably has a few different types of clients that she works with, that she can see an archetype, some of the same qualities coming through in these type of clients. So enjoy. I want to just give you a big round of applause. Why did I come back to this? Because this is the one thing, even myself, that we always skimp out on. We go, I'll do that later. These building out the customer profiles kind of sucks. I know that it does. We're going to do it all together while we have the time and while creating the container. But I wanted to say, well done for you guys to spend the time to do this work too, because this is what gives you the knowledge about this can inform everything. It informs branding, it informs social media, it informs the kind of content you create, it informs the programs that you create in your offerings. This is the cornerstone of how you build out your business. So I can't stress how important it is to spend the time here. So I'll see you guys in 10 minutes. Have fun. Hi, everybody. 10 minutes are up. Um, Again, I want to just say, really proud of all of you guys for putting the time into doing this because I think there's a lot of resistance in doing this work. So just to slightly abuse you even further, I want you to go into groups now, and just talk through. So we'll do groups of, how many people do we have here? 17. So we'll do like groups of 3, maybe 4. I just want you to go around like just kind of one by one and just do pick one of your customer avatars. And then what you just go through the questions. What did you come up with? Like, did you do, if you want to share your screen so they can actually see the, if you did a picture, if you did a name, whatever you want to do, it's totally like open-ended. But the part that I'm really concerned about, and I want you to be able to like communicate and talk through with your group, is what are the needs and what are the solutions? Did you come up with any like good insight around the needs of your specific customer avatar? Really digging into this, for me, the core question here is what keeps them up at night. What are, so needs, and it kind of connects with that, like the pain points, and then how do you have solutions that help that client? So if you guys haven't done this before, I'm going to put you in a breakout rooms. You'll get a notification to join your groups. You just click that and you'll be in your group. We'll be in groups for, uh, I'd say about 10 minutes. That gives us enough time to come back and maybe share 1 or 2 customer avatars with the group so we can go through them together. Have fun, meet people, help out your teammates by asking questions and getting really curious about who their person is. And I'll see you back in 10 minutes. Let's do 3 groups. Yep, 4 groups. Okay. Create and open all the rooms. Hey, everybody. Hi. How did that go? Great. Anybody want to share their client avatar? Love to hear. Just raise your hand if you'd like to share. Well, if Exy's saying that was awesome, Alexandra, then that means, Alexandra, I have to hear what your client avatar is.
Okay, so
Got highlighted.
we spent that out there. Okay, so I guess I should start with that I'm a new integrative nutrition health coach.
Mhm.
So I am like very new. I don't have much experience with this, but I've done a few health histories, and most of them seem like, or maybe all the people I know are like, I called the customer type the overwhelmed health freak or the health fanatic. So it's the person who is like really interested in healthy things, and they're like, I want to eat the right thing, do the right thing, take all the supplements. I want to age gracefully and just, feel freaking awesome. But I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I'm struggling with my weight. I have some other like hormonal GI issues sort of things.
Mhm.
And they're in their early 20s to mid 40s. They're mostly women. They're really busy, and that's what has the like trouble, especially around meal times and what to eat, when to eat, how to eat it, what works for them. Uh, they have busy schedules. A lot of them are business owners, so their schedule can be kind of inconsistent and unpredictable, but also because they're business owners, they have a little bit more flexibility than the average person, but it's really inconsistent. Um, okay, what is their stories? What challenges are they having in their personal professional life? And I said, it's like trouble with managing their weight and body image issues. It seemed like a lot of the self-talk wasn't great.
Mhm.
Um, so they're dealing with their weight. There's chronic pain and inflammation. So they'll complain about like having some GI issues, back pain. They're cramping a lot. It's like you really kind of go through the whole gamut when you do the health coaching, the health history, but those three things kind of popped up a lot. Um, what do they need to solve their challenges? Support around body image, some tailored meal plans or like recipes, ideas to get them started. Um, and maybe a little like prompts to get them to explore what's happening in their bodies, like so they can connect what they're eating with how they're feeling. Um, what's this next one here? Stress management and structure. And how can you solve those challenges? And that's basically you sit down and we work on creating a plan with them. So maybe it's like they're cutting out of food or they add a food. We do like a, oh my God. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm talking so fast right
I got it. I'm right here with you. It's a
now.
lot. It's a lot of stuff.
Oh, geez. So we talk about like creating structure around meal plans, exercise, and I thought it was important to focus on a different perspective on exercise because of the crazy schedule. So not just, going to the gym and doing this thing. You find exercise in cleaning your house, walking your dogs, like really adding it into your life in kind of a more intuitive way than really structured going to the gym way. Um, Stress management, whether it's like they have a different sort of practice, yoga, meditation, or dealing with those pieces in their life that are, you target what their big pain point is, whether you delegate the task or we add in a different practice. And then structure, 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 I guess.
I want to pause you for a second because I mean we could definitely keep going because this is the job, right? Is to just know this many details about your person and you can know a lot more details because things that we didn't cover right now is like like, where do they shop? Where do they hang out? What kind of books are they reading? What
Mhm.
and then demographic stuff as well, just like income brackets and are they married or not? Do they have kids? All this stuff. And I know you went through a little bit of that, but I just wanted to point out that the thing that I heard you say that for me was the most exciting was this idea of prompts, because I think that that's not something that I've seen a lot in the health coaching world. And I think that it kind of like brings up for me that connection between like the body. I remember this from the menstrual cycle stuff that I was doing. So it's this thing of like, um when you're having a something like this is what it may mean. So a lot of
Mhm.
people don't know that. We're not taught to interpret what our bodies are telling us. So if
Mhm.
you even around food, like if you feel like things to look out. I remember reading this before that like if your body is not processing the food or it's not the right food for you, that you'll get a little like heart palpitation. Your heart rate will be elevated. And I was like, how cool, like, that my body will actually tell me besides
Mhm.
stomach ache or digestive issues, like, my I will get an elevated heart rate, and ever since then, I would look to that as a signal, but I'd say, 98% of people are not gonna know to look for that, so even that kind of prompt, like, "Hey, here are 5 things that you can look for that are, unusual." Do you get and this is just around food, but just like do you burp a lot after you eat something? These little body prompts, and that's very specific around food. And I know you can build prompts around other things too, like how to know if your cortisol level is spiking. Okay. Or do you get a wired yet tired at 11 p.m., things like that. But I like the idea of having some kind of like freebie prompt guide to give out that just are unusual signals that your body gives you to tell you what's going on or what's
Mhm.
wrong. That was my favorite idea that came out of all the solutions were great, but that one specifically, I could see you implementing that very quickly. And it's not something that I see, and it would be a great infographic for social media too.
Oh, cool.
I'm all about double, triple, quadrupling up on content. So if you have that one thing, like that's a freebie, but it could also be an infographic. You could build it out into a YouTube series or take each one individually. But I like the concept of prompts though, because people want it to be easy. And I like that you can kind of surprise them with this concept of the body has really cool things that it's communicating to us all the time. And we're just not educated on reading the signs.
Oh, wow. That was, like, crazy insightful. Thank you. I loved that. I, like, have this especially as a yoga teacher, it's, like, really important to me that people feel, like, sovereignty over
Yeah.
their own
Mhm.
bodies, and, like, we have all this information innately inside of us, but I would have never thought like, to me, that was just a tool to help someone or, like, to help me understand what's happening so I can help them. I never really thought of being like, "Ha, here you go."
Yeah, I mean, I love it, and I'm glad that that resonated with you. And thanks for sharing. I know that you kind of didn't want to. I sensed that you didn't really want to, but I'm glad that you
I was like,
did. Gonna call you out.
it was awesome though. I don't regret it. Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to co so we've got 2 sessions, we got lunch break, and then we've got 2 sessions this afternoon. We're doing website and social media, but we will come back to this. I want to hear from at least 2 more people as we go through. So this afternoon, because I think these client avatar things are, like I said, broken record, but it's one of the more important things that you'll do. So I want to workshop and go through some solutions with you guys. So if you come back this afternoon, we'll carve out a little bit of time to go through these again too. That's it for me for a little bit. Enjoy your lunch break or early morning or late afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. And I'll see you back in a couple hours. Bye, everyone.